Hello, everybody, and welcome to a reading which is going to be a general reading for love for the twins, for the twin flame. Okay, now Valentine is around the corner, guys, so I just wanted to check on the general energy of this journey for the twin flame around this portion in time, and we'll see what comes up in here. I haven't done this reading. Since some time, right? And I wanted to check all the energies in here for the journey for the twins. So let's get into it because love is in the air, Venus is direct, so possibly we'll see some good energies around this portion in time. Big time, right? Let's ask for some good energies. Let's welcome our spirit guide, our angel, our ancestors, and my divine source into this reading for the journey of this twin flame, the love. Okay, spiritual journey, difficult journey, tough journey, makes you very tough, gives you a very hard time, but at the end of the day, this is what the journey is all about, right? And the more challenges you have, the harder it becomes. But that hard part of the story is where you learn to toughen up a lot. You learn lessons, you learn to understand yourself better, you learn to figure things better, you learn to understand your own energies better. A lot of things this journey entails, right? So yeah, so let's delve into this part of the story, guys, and let's see what we have for now at this point in time with love, Cupid in the air, right? Let's see this. Let's look into this journey, guys, okay? And this will be a general check for the twins, so it could be your energy, it could be the divine masculine's energy, it could be the divine feminine's energy, it doesn't matter, but it is the energy, right? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, see, the bottom is healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So definitely there is a lot of situation that had been sitting with somebody here, with one of the twins. And that needs healing a lot. Soulmate and finance and career was in the reverse, but I'm going to take this like here, heart-to-heart conversations. Okay, new love. So there is a feeling of something new that is stepping into the story right here, right? It's a new love. When I say new love, it could be a change in the story as new people, right? As new people, the love could be old, but it's like you transitioning out of your old self. And when you do that, this is something that brings in a fresh, new perspective to this whole love story, right? To this whole love story. This is where honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Yeah, that's what their spirit is saying, right? There is a glare, guys. I'm trying to avoid that. That because of this situation, this is the time. This is the time that's coming up in here where it's a requirement that you guys get together and discuss things, heart-to-heart conversation. See, the thing is we have conversations, but we don't really open up, and delve into our heartfelt emotions or heartfelt problems that are sitting with that emotion. Something from your heart that needs to be cleared. It needs to be told. It needs to be it needs to be discussed. Like you have problem, the other person has a problem, it needs to be really discussed. Wedding, finances and career, soulmate, right? This is because there could be a problem with the finance and career part of the issue that is coming in between marriage and a soulmate connection, right? So there is something that Now, this card was in the reverse, right? So, this could be a problem that had been a hindrance before. It also could be that, but this needs to be talked about, openly discussed, because if there is a problem that is stopping this commitment from happening, because this is a soulmate energy right here. So you guys are tied up in the soulmate energy, and this commitment, with the wedding, right, needs to be discussed. You'll have to understand each other better. So there is a problem, maybe, or there was a problem that needs to be openly talked about so that you can remove this problem from your situation for the twins, right? That is what I'm getting here. Now, healing family issues. So this could be directly finance and career, right? This part of the story could be directly linked with somebody's family issue. There is a lot of things that needs a discussion here, healing here, forgiving your parents, right? Something that you're carrying back from your past situation for both of you. So, yeah, so this is what is showing up in here as a bottom of the deck situation, guys, right? But let's move into the three energies. We have romantic feelings. I don't need to explain this. Playfulness, romantic feeling, and chemistry. Look at this. Look at the three cards in here, right? It's a huge chemistry. It's a huge chemistry that is there, and it's coming back into life, is more what I'm getting, right? This chemistry is magnetic. I mean, y'all can't do without each other. Let's be very honest. That's what Spirit is saying, right? So, but to recapture that spirit, to recapture that chemistry that's coming back to life, you need to allow, that's what they're saying here, you need to allow your inner youthful spirit to shine, right? Because both your spirit, both your feelings are real and they're worth exploring, which is where this could be a situation that was kind of preventing this part of the story to evolve, right? So there has to be some forgiveness, some healing that is required in order to come back here, right? Because romantic feelings, you guys love each other. There is no second opinion. But to recapture this romantic feeling, you all will have to both open your heart to one another once again, right? For that same spirit, the same joy, the same youthfulness back into your life. And because this is where the chemistry is. The chemistry is very intense. It's coming up in here, right? There is a very strong magnetic attraction here. That's what Spirit is saying. But you will have to allow that to happen for both of you. And allow to bring back that youthfulness that you all have experienced before, where it's been beautiful, right? Behaving as kids, doing things that probably you haven't dreamt you will be doing. Whatever that story is, having fun, just being playful with one another, right? Because the feelings are real. So if you don't give yourself a chance to explore that feeling once again, it's going to be difficult to move into this journey, right? But at the same time, this chemistry is coming up. So there is a huge chemistry, intense chemistry that is working between the twins at this point in time. It's a very magnetic attraction of desire, longing, love, everything that you can possibly think about, right? Let's look at this romantic feeling. What does Spirit have to say here? Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So there is something that, Spirit is saying that give it a chance. I mean, just give it a chance, right? Playfulness. Try to humor your situation. Try to bring back humor, fun. Be childish, doesn't matter, but try to do that, right? Because there is a lot of feelings of this intensity between the two of you that definitely is longing to do that, to bring this situation back to life once again. So this longing is coming up in here, but we'll check to see. So this attraction, this magnetic a part of the story is coming up in here, right? So which means Spirit is saying everything is going to be fine, but you have to also know that, it's real. Your feelings are real for each other. I mean, none of y'all are faking it here. So if that is true, then why don't you give it a chance to really come back to, for this situation to come back to life, right? That is what Spirit is talking about, this journey in here. Okay, we'll see, guys. We'll clarify the cards as well. And this journey has gone through a tough time is because of this healing that is happening at this point in time. And because it's being healed, or the healing is happening, this intensity or this magnetism of this situation is really coming back to life once again. Coming back to life. Because this is a real journey for you guys. It's a spiritual journey, but it's a real journey. This love cannot be compared with anything else in this world. And this is where the real journey is. You could be upset with one another. You could be really in non-communicative mode with one another. Everything is possible. But, as far as the intensity of this chemistry in this journey is concerned, that's it. It's chemistry. It's chemistry. Right? Longing, desire, love, attraction, everything is chemistry. And that is exactly what is happening in this story at this point in time. Right? Yeah, there has been a lot of difficulty, as we already know, where situation has been very tough. Where decision making has been very tough. It's a matter of choice. It was a matter of decision. What should one do? What shouldn't one do? Right? It's been a tough journey, but somewhere it is also the truth that this is a chemistry. The truth is in the chemistry of this soulmate journey. And because this is a soulmate truthful connection, there can be no greater truth than this chemistry that is coming up in here, right? That's coming up in here. No matter what the tangible world is telling you, no matter how many difficulties the tangible world is, you're kind of facing at this point, whether you can do it, you cannot do it, how do you balance the situation, what are the choices, what are the decisions, and options that you will require to start a new cycle in your life. How do you prioritize every situation in your life now as you possibly want to start a new cycle in your life? So those are the choices. Those are the practical, tangible difficulties, right? That will come up in this journey, because this is also a spiritual journey in the tangible world. It's not in the 5D. I mean, it's coming from the 5D, but the actual stuff is happening in the 3D, right? The bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So it's all about inner knowing. It's all about understanding, right? The Queen of Sword and the High Priestess. It's all about your clarity of mind. It's all about your inner knowing, what you will keep with you, what you don't want to keep with you, what is that you, your inner conscious, your inner subconscious, your inner knowing, your wisdom, your knowledge, right? That is where the story is, trying to figure out what it is that you need to close, what it is that you need to get rid of, what are the difficulties that you have to work with, logically, how do you manage to erase those problems erase those difficulties in your life. So it's all about your own clarity. It's all about your own mental, logical clarity in here, your inner knowing, right? That there are things that you possibly, you know, intuitively, a lot of things, right? Intuitively, you're aware of a lot of things. Now, choices and decisions and options will have to be made very wisely in here. That's what they're saying. So, no rash decisions, don't take any rash decisions. Don't take a call right away without delving into your subconscious energy to see whether whatever you're thinking or doing, or you're, getting out of or getting rid of, clearing your road, should be your inner wisdom. That should prevail here at this point in time. So, what they are saying, what I'm getting is, if you're upset and you quickly take a decision, I don't want this. I'm not there anymore. I am not going forward. If you take a decision like that, then you will regret it later on. So don't take any rash decisions. Give yourself plenty of time, right? Work with yourself, work with your inner knowledge. We all have that. We just don't tap into it. So they're saying that you're very, very intelligent and wise. You guys have gone through a lot of learning lessons in life. You'll understand. You'll understand the whole clarity of the situation, but now it is also the time to decide wisely. So don't take any rash call. Think about it. Go deep in, give yourself plenty of time. Tap into your intuitive energy if you can. And that happens when you can calm down, when you can take your time, think wisely, do things right. Do things right. Right? That is very important here at this point in time. So understand yourself, understand what situations have happened, why situations have happened, because this intense chemistry, this is where your feelings are real, right? Your feelings are worth exploring once again. That youthfulness, that time, that love, that brings back that beautiful sense of being alive again. That itself is the magnetic attraction that doesn't happen with every individual, right? That is a different kind of a chemistry here, that you guys make each other feel young. People have love stories. They fall in love, they get married, they have kids. It's okay. But not all love stories can be as magnetic as this love story is. This is something that universe has created, basically. And they have created because both you guys are actually in your heart, you're like kids. You'll have matured in your age, but your heart is still very kiddish, right? That is where you'll make each other feel very young, very lively. That is something that others or other love stories may not be able to do, right? That sense of chemistry where you'll connect with each other just as the twins would connect. And that's the twin. Because you'll both have that similar energy. You'll both feel that kind of an energy towards each other. Whenever you'll meet, you'll don't care what the world is thinking, what is happening, what people are talking about, what other situations are going around in your life. It's not important to you. What is important is how you'll make each other feel, right? So that is the kind of an energy that is coming up in here, right in the right on the top in here. And this kind of chemistry happens only in certain cases, like the twin flame. That's what I'm trying to say here, guys. Okay, so you do have the lovers, the 10 of Wands, and then you have the Ace of Sword. So you all do know this chemistry. You'll definitely know this chemistry, right? But you'll also kind of, there is a lot of stress over the fact how to explore this feeling, really, how to bring back that youthfulness, how to bring back that liveliness, because both of you all have been very stressed out and burnt out over this situation of your love with the lovers, right? A lot of things have not really been working towards your benefit. So over a period of time, right? Over a period of time, somewhere that youthfulness, that liveliness, that happiness of being young and fresh has somehow got lost, right? Has somehow got lost. But the truth is, the truth prevails. What is the truth? The truth is the chemistry, that magnetism, that desire, that longing. That truth is not hidden in the story anymore. The truth is absolutely not hidden, right? But the only problem is that there has been so much of pressure, so much of tension, so much of stress over this situation that somewhere, that youthfulness and that romantic feeling, that playfulness has somehow been suppressed, right? Please talk to me about the lovers. Has somehow become very dull. That's what I'm trying to say. Has become dull, right? That needs to be sharpened back. Yeah, the Six of Wands, right? The Six of Wands, the joy, the victory, the confidence between the two of you needs to come back. So basically what Spirit is saying is that the blade of truth has become dull, right? There has been too much of dullness that has come, there has been rusted. It needs to be sharpened. It has to be sharpened because this chemistry is very much alive. So there needs to come back, and it will come back, a victory, a sense of victory once again in this story between the two of you, where you will know that the feelings that you have for one another, that's a sense of victory, is real, is very much real. Where, like I said, where so much of stress and tension and pressure and all this have kind of rusted the blade of your understanding, right? Of that happiness, of that joy, of that sense. Yeah, the Three of Swords. Yeah, too much of pressure, too much of sorrow, right? Too much of sorrow, too much of pressure that needs to break free. You have to give each other that space to work upon this story with confidence. Because feelings are real, but then, like I said, the youthfulness has disappeared. The only reason that youthfulness and liveliness has disappeared is because of so much of sorrow and guilt that the blade has become rusted, right? Please talk to me about the Ace of Swords. That needs to shine back again. That needs to shine back again because this chemistry is intense. So communication needs to happen. Communication is rusted, right? The Four of Cups, yeah. It is only because of this reason, right? Where the chemistry is this attraction, this magnetic attraction, where both of you, you'll have to give each other that, you'll have to shine the light with each other once again. Both of you all have gone through a very rough time, and you see the card here, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Look at the two figures. They are coming out of a very rough time in their life. But the desire, that magnetism, that longing is so much there that they cannot do with it without each other, guys. But at the same time, you know, this communication needs to happen. The blade has to be sharpened. The truth, they know the truth, that this is the truth. But this Four of Cups, right? This is where y'all are feeling extremely poor in your emotion about this situation without each other. Without each other, right? And definitely you want a sense, there is a sense of pride and victory in here. You want that pride and victory where you can tell people that yes, you have somebody in your life like the divine masculine, or the divine masculine can say, yes, I have somebody in my life like the divine feminine, right? That is the pride. That is a sense of victory and pride and confidence that has gone through a lot of problems in here, guys. And because of that, that youthfulness, that beautiful love, has become dull. Has become dull, right? Where this is where y'all are feeling lost without this situation. Really, emotionally, y'all are feeling completely drained of this situation. Because what is happening in here, guys, is that this is the time y'all are realizing that what if you had one another now, right? You are having the two cups in beside you at this point in time. But again, you're just wondering, if only you had one another during this period in time when there is so much of love in the air, with this Valentine's sense of, all about a romance and love and everything. And you are like, I don't have somebody with me that I can offer this two cup of loves. That is the kind of feeling I'm getting out of this card, because that magnetism is there. You know the truth, but you don't have the person with you. So that is kind of making you feel that sense of loss of this situation here. Please talk to me about the Six of Wands, because this is your pride, this is your victory. This is something that you can openly tell people about without fearing anything, right? Without fearing anything. Yeah, tornado. You want to liberate the situation. You need that liberation to happen in here, where you can tell people without hiding anything between the two of you. That is a sense, that is an energy that is coming up in here. You know why? Because both you guys are feeling that because of this burden, this stress, this pain, this sorrow, and it's all because of this. You want to break free from this. You want to go back and be lively, be joyful, be youthful once again in your life. Enjoy love the way one should be, right? Please talk to me about the Three of Swords. So this is the kind of liberation you'll want from this situation, so that you'll want that happiness to come back into your life once again during this portion in time, lighthouse, right? But again, you know that it's not going to be easy. There is still a lot of situation that you'll need to take care of, guys. You have to be very vigilant. As you want to liberate yourself, there are situations, there are obstacles where you have to be very tactful, very diplomatic, very, very vigilant, using your tact and diplomacy to avoid any kind of problems. So, you have to be aware of this situation, because there has been so much of stress and so much of sorrow, that to liberate that feeling and come out of that, to destroy that feeling and come out in the open, it's not going to be as easy as one can think, right? in order to liberate the situation, there will be a lot of obstacles still holding the situation back. Please talk to me about the Four of Cups, and both of you guys know that. Let me tell you that you all both know this situation, that as easy as it may sound to you or to him, it's not going to be that easy, guys. Right? And this is where that geese are coming in, right? There is a cyclical cycle that is working in your favor at this point, or you're thinking about the situation. You're thinking about, because of this situation, see what has happened in here, guys, is what I'm getting. That maybe for some of you, you feel that if you want to liberate the situation, open this love story up, it will be probably difficult for you to stay back in the same place and open the situation, because that could be a lot of obstacles there, right? So what kind of a solution do you have? You're like thinking about that solution. The solution could be a relocation, could be moving away from a place, right? Could be moving away from a place, migrating somewhere else, moving out. But at the same time, you also have to know where you're heading towards. You just can't take the boat or the ship or the plane and move, right? So yeah, definitely because of this emotional situation where the loss is so much, you're trying to come up with some kind of a solution. This is kind of a solution, it's a cyclical cycle of change. That can be the only solution that you're looking into, because otherwise, it's going to be difficult to live and stay in the same locality or the same place or in the same situation and try to open the situation up would be difficult, is what my spirit is saying. So, it's kind of taking your time, that probably earlier if you had done this, maybe, right, where there was an opportunity you had, and if you all had taken that decision at that point in time, it would have been better, right? That is also a part of the story here. But it's like a missed opportunity that you're feeling that had you all taken the call before, had you all foreseen this issue before, or if you all had really worked towards the situation in the right way, knowing the chemistry, between the two, that longing, the desire to stay together, had you all taken that call before, then perhaps y'all would have been able to move, right? Or for some, it is a movement that you're thinking about just to get out of this obstacle, because there are a lot of obstacles right there. So we'll see. Then you have the Three of Wands, the Page of Sword, and the Nine of Sword, right? Yeah. So, yeah, y'all are looking for an opportunity, guys, because this is an opportunity you have. You're looking at this opportunity from trying to think about it, what you can do, but at the same time, you should know where you're going, what you're doing, right? You're trying to think very positively now. Maybe you'll also know that you have to wait for the time is not here at this point, right? There's a lot of grief still in here, guys, in this journey with the Nine of Swords. A lot of stress still on, right? And you're trying to find an opening from that kind of a stressful feeling. You're trying to understand what is the best movement of situation that can happen For some, it could be an overseas journey as well. For some, it could be a relocation as well, right? Being faithful to one another is very important at this point, because if you're going to take a step forward in this situation in this way, then you have to be very faithful as well, very dependable with one another. That, when one is going, the other follows. It shouldn't be that one stays back and the other one leaves. That's not being dependable, right? That's not going to be dependable. That's not going to work. That's going to be unfaithful to the whole situation here. So the faithfulness part of the story is also a part of the cyclical cycle, where you both can be faithful to one another, depend on your faith to guide you in the right direction, right? So this is the time when a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of grief over the situation is, you're trying to understand, what is that you can positively do in order to do something about this whole situation, because this whole situation needs a kind of but you have to see, the thing over here is, before you do anything, guys, you have to also go through a lot of learning, right? See, the stress and the tension has also been intellectually helpful in your case, where at one point you were drowned in sorrow, but now the situation is that you're trying to understand, right? A fresh new understanding is appearing, where you're trying to understand what it is that you can do in order to cure this issue and look for a solution that is going to work in your favor, right? Please talk to me about the Three of Wands. The time is not here, the time is coming, but in between the spirit and time, the Knight of Swords, right? It's a mind change in this situation. It's a mind change towards something different, right? It's a mind change towards an honest path. How can you really take an honest leap of faith? Please talk to me about the Knight of Swords. Because communication is important, but it has to be, like I said, a heart-to-heart conversation, which involves honesty, right? When you say something with somebody, it definitely means that you're having a very honest conversation with one another, right? But the problem over here is, again, you're not trusting your own logical energy that you can actually do this, because there has been a lot of learning lesson in here, right? So before you say anything, before you be frank about situations with one another, have a heart-to-heart conversations, you guys are worried that if you do that, because the past is coming up in here, right? Or maybe for some of you, you really want to have an honest conversation of your past situation. That also can be the part of the story, which is where you're thinking about the situation, that whether you should bring back the past situation and the learning lessons, and what has happened in here with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, right? Where there has been a lot of ego battle between the two of you. Lot of ego war. A war that is based more so on your egotistical victory in life. Right? So either that, or somebody over, or the situation over here is that you guys are thinking about this situation, trying to get the right picture out of that situation, why it happened, what is the reason behind this whole, egotistical situation, all the drama, all the conflict, what the personality differences between the two of you, where one was completely thinking from an emotional point of view and the other was thinking from a very logical, egotistical point of view. Right? So that is some kind of a conversation that needs to be very frank and honest with one. You have to be very frank and honest with one another, and that is an important part of this situation in here, that you are definitely kind of understanding or trying to understand what went so wrong in here, what was the reason behind this situation in here, right? What is the reason that all this happened? That also, it is a part of the story. You're trying to understand, where now it is the time that you want to be honest with each other, have the heart to heart conversation, because you have learned a lesson about the difference of opinion, difference of personality, that created so much of drama and tension in this journey together, right? So it has been a learning lesson, but at the same time, this is also teaching you the fact to be honest with one another. It is time you'll understand how honesty is important, how heart to heart, because if you don't openly communicate, if you don't say what is in your mind, right? It's wrong, right? That's a different part of the story. But for example, something doesn't suit me, and I pretend that I'm okay with it, but actually I'm not okay with it, right? And yet I'm trying to compromise with that situation and trying to tell myself that no, I'm okay with it, maybe. But that can only last you for that long. Because after a while, you will be drained of not being your true self, of having to hold back your emotions or having to hold back your persona, your real true persona of yourself. Right? So, this is a situation where your understanding is coming to a point of this realization that only if you guys had that heart to heart conversation a long time before, this situation probably wouldn't have happened. But the problem was probably the conversation did not happen was because, like I said, somebody was in their ego. And there was a lot of battle over this difference of personality because conversations were not opened up and discussed in the right way. Truth was not expressed in the right way. What you like, what the other person doesn't like, what is that you guys need to do within this, within yourself, what is the difference of opinion, why it is happening, and stuff like that has never been disclosed, frankly, honestly, never been told. Please talk to me about the Five of Swords, and every time the situation came up, or the truth was, somebody was like defeating that situation, was not interested in having that conversation, right? Was really not interested in having that conversation. And that is where this situation did not move. Did not move. Because the truth of the whole, see, you may have, and it is very evident that when two people come together, they won't be exact clones of one another, no matter whether they're twins or not twins. Their personality will be different. But that has to be expressed, that I don't like something you're doing, or the other person says, well, I don't like something, but let's compromise, let's work together as a team instead of fighting with each other, having difference of opinion and going into a conflict situation. Right? But whenever probably the chance had come up, the conversation never opened because somebody over here was not interested was in their ego phase. Whatever they think is right, whatever they say is right, whatever they do is right. That kind of a thing will create a difference of opinion, because that way there is a power play here. There is a power play here, and you don't want that power play, right? That power play can only take you for that long. Then after that, the power play doesn't work, right? And this is where they're saying, see, step by step, stepping stone, understanding is coming back in here. Where things have gone wrong, it's coming in, not together, it's coming part by part, right? It's coming part by part. It's baby steps of understanding to the whole situation that is going towards the wellspring of life, that is going towards some kind of fertility. Because when you realize within yourself, when you understand within yourself, oh, I should have done this instead of that, this is where I went wrong, that's when the correction process happens. This is a process of correction that's going on, right, in this journey, where y'all are realizing, the twins are realizing what should have happened instead of what has happened. So from there, you're starting a fresh journey of understanding, of realization, of epiphany. That is a very powerful one. That is taking you towards your stability. That's taking you towards your compassion, where you lacked compassion. It also could be that you lacked stability in your life. With all the drama, there was no stability. And the compassion went. Right? So the fertility did not happen. So now it's time to ripen that fertility, to become wise and know that this kind of mistake should not be repeated again. Right? With the page of sword. This is an understanding that you could have been very young at that point in time with your understanding, and you kind of, took wrong decisions. Took wrong decisions in life, intellectually or logically or mentally, right? But now it's time to understand this situation. Please talk to me about the page of sword. It's time to talk, because it also could be that for some of you, you have spoken, you have said a lot, but you did not fulfill that situation. The page of wheels, right? Too young, too naive. That you did a lot of things without really understanding, but it's time to bring back that youthfulness once again, because that is also a part of this youthfulness situation. As you are understanding yourself, you're taking one step at a time. It also could be that fun is returning back, or you were too young at that point in time. You want that young, youthful sense back into your life again. It also could be that, with the page of wheels and the page of sword. You want to be young, you want to be that, sense of innocence, that whatever I have at this point is what I have, and let's move from there. Doesn't matter, right? The Knight of Wheels, graduating to the Knight slowly, understanding the situation better, becoming more fertile and ripe in yourself, to the Three of Cups, right? So it is a process of graduation here. Right? It is a process of graduation that is coming back into life in here. Where, like I said, where you have thought about a lot of things, you have been talking about a lot of things, but maybe you couldn't keep your promises up. Right? And this is where you are coming to your point intellectually. You want to have the fun time again. You want to be feeling lively again. But this time around, you start off as a young, fresh person, right? Which is, with all the experiences, You're slowly graduating, you're moving up slowly as the Knight of Pentacles. You're progressively moving forward and progressively moving forward towards this reconciliation, understanding each other better, knowing each other better. You know, that yes, a lot of things have happened before. That's because age was not, maturity was not supporting you at that point. So, yeah, so a lot of mistakes have happened. A lot of mistakes have happened in here. But now you're slowly graduating, taking action on those mistakes you have made before. Right? You don't want to repeat those. So you are graduating very, very slowly in here, giving yourself time because you don't want to repeat the same mistake that you have made before. So this time around, you're being very careful about the situation, is what I'm getting. Please talk to me about the Three of Cups. It also could be a third party. It also could be reconciliation. Anything. Let's see here. Yeah. No, this is a reconciliation heart. Romance. Forgiveness. Kindness. So a lot of things earlier could have happened because both of you guys were too young, naive, very youthful. But that is, again, that youthfulness will always be there. But you all have taken actions, done things because of lack of experience as well, right, in this journey. So which is where the Page of Swords could have been a lack of experience in your intellectual part of the story. That you have spoken a lot of things, that you have said a lot of things that you really haven't lived up to for some of you. So which is where, the Page of Pentacles is again a fresh, young, new start in your tangible world, right? You don't have much. You're starting off from basically a child again. But with your learning and with your experience that you have gone through, right, where it's ripening over time, your stability is gaining momentum. Your stability is gaining momentum in here, where you're ready to take action over this reconciliation with one another. And it's coming up in here, which involves your heart, which involves this kindness, compassion, the desire, the romance. Right? Because the Nine of Swords, again, because there has been a lot of stress over this situation where both you guys have been left alone, right? Thinking about the whole situation, but have been feeling very anxious by yourself over this situation as well, right? Please talk to me about the Nine of Swords. Shedding tears. Purging. The Queen of Wands. And what has happened, guys, is because, like I told you right in the beginning, just go back if you have forgotten what I said. This journey has taught both you guys a lot of lesson. Given you a lot of pain, heartbreak. I told you right in the beginning. Right? But it has also helped to toughen you up. It has also brought in that quality where you are understanding how tough you guys have become to deal with situations in your life. Right? You'll have kind of become the boss. You'll have bossed up in your own way. Please talk to me about the Queen of Wands. You have bossed up in your own way in this. And this has been all because of this situation here, right? It's been all because of this situation. You have bossed up. And this is where y'all are returning or you will be returning, the Four of Wands, you will be returning together as figures, as independent figures, both brilliant in your own way, right? A power couple. A power couple of magnetism, charm, brilliance, independence, right? That is the kind of energy that you have learned from all the stress, how you have gone through this situation. And this is for the twins, right? Y'all are evolving. Please talk to me about the Four of Wands. Y'all are evolving to understand this whole situation from your past experience, and how much of, see, communication, births, negotiations, where you all are coming in contact with each other as a power couple, as people who have a mind of their own, as people who are very attractive in their own way, where they are not flighty, they are not nervous, but they can discuss things with one another in the rightful way, where communication will happen between two individuals, right? A negotiation will happen between two individuals in terms of some kind of commitment, but it's happening because you all have learned to toughen up. Please talk to me about the birds. There will be some kind of negotiation in here, or discussion, where earlier, mountain, where earlier there was obstacles in here. Somebody didn't want to talk, somebody was nervous, flighty, always left the discussion before it happened. Hummingbird, right? Hummingbird always left the discussion before it happened. The discussion was never completed because y'all just did not manage to complete that situation. Y'all were intimidated with one another for whatever reason, right? So this is where this situation has toughened you up because of the pain of the Nine of Swords, right? Where you are realizing that you have to take control of your own life. And that taking control of your own life means this commitment is your life, the togetherness, the Four of Wands, right? Taking this commitment in control between the two of you, how you work together with this situation. So this is where that probable part of communication was not completed before. Was not completed, like I said, could be intimidated with one another, could be flighty, could be nervous, did not really want to take up this matter and proceed with it, and that's where there was a lot of obstacle that happened in this situation. There was interruption, obstacle, pride, anything that could have happened between the twins here, where this communication did not proceed or move forward, right? Which is where hummingbird, which is where there is some kind of negativity that is lifted out of the situation. This was all because there was the Nine of Swords. There was a lot of negativity in here, right? There was a lot of negativity in here where this discussion about this commitment or the stability of this situation was not completed, was never taken to that portion. That was because that feeling of flighty or nervousness, or being deficient in your attention, right? Some of you were deficient in your attention. You were not giving this situation enough attention. So all those things were barriers. They were obstacles in your way. That is where situation is lifting out. Negativity is moving out. Because now you're realizing that it's, you have bossed up so much that you're both realizing that the present moment is the moment in your life. Don't think about what's going to happen and this and that, and too much of situation complicates matters. Enjoy what is coming to you. Take what is given to you. That moment is very important for you, right? Head of the pack. Because then things will start moving. Then the situation will go to the finish line. Right? Then that situation will start to move successfully in this journey. The drive to get it done will happen when both you guys learn to respect the present moment, not think about too much what's going to happen next, what's not going to happen next. Right? Don't think about that so much. Just enjoy the present moment of being together, of having fun together, because this is where the toughness is coming. Right? This is where the toughness is coming, where you might have been very bossy. The other person could have been very bossy. And therefore, the discussion about the stability did not finish. Right? Because you guys could have been very intimidated with one another at that point, where you all had forgotten to enjoy the present moment, and both you guys were constantly pushing each other towards the finale. Right? And this is where they're saying that the situation will change, because this is the time that you're coming to realize that what's going to happen 20 years later, 10 years, 5 years later, We'll think about that. Let's not get into that right away. Let's look at the present time. Let's see what we can do with the present moment by being together, by enjoying together, having that fun is important, right? And if that happens, that chemistry comes into life, then automatically you guys will rush forward. The drive will come to finish this situation. Right? That will to win this situation, that together we can win over that joint venture, right? The combined teamwork, togetherness. That is going to happen, guys. That will happen is only when you can just enjoy being with each other, in each other's company, present, enjoying that time, togetherness, not thinking too much about the future, complicating matters, right? Trying to talk about situation that doesn't really, you're not very comfortable with. Don't do that. Whatever you're not comfortable with, don't even go there at this point. Just enjoy life with each other, because there is something that reconciliation is coming towards you guys, right? So once a reconciliation happens, this is what spirit is saying. Once the reconciliation happens, then this is how, if you work the energy, then you will have the will to finish it. That drive will come automatically. Let's do it together, kind of an energy, right? And this is where the Six of Cups, right? This is where the soulmate energy will shine back. Definitely 200% will shine back, because y'all will have that energy to do things together, to be together, to work as a team. That's what I told you, right? To work as a team, to be playful once again, to be youthful once again, to enjoy every part of the moment you're getting in this tangible world. Please talk to me about this Six of Cups. It's very important, guys. This is the message. It's coming up at this point. It's because there is a message here. The King of Wands. Yeah. Please talk to see the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. And that's what the King of Wands is working, the Ten of Swords. Because the King of Wands is an energy of a lot of pride. That's I'm getting in here. Right? And this is the energy that pride had killed the soulmate energy here. Right? The pride and the ego had smashed the soulmate energy in here. So what has happened in here, guys, is somebody over here thought that they have everything in control with the soulmate energy. But in reality, there was no control. So this control came to an end. And it was a very painful end of that controlled energy where they were, where it was the twins were kind of not coming together, not talking with one another. That control is breaking, falling apart, right? Being very like sticking to their own situation and to their own stubbornness, basically. Just talk to me about the Ten of Swords. That control is falling apart. Where there was no communication, not talking with one another, kind of an energy. I'm not going to talk unless he calls me. The other person goes like, I'm not going to open up the conversation until she comes forward towards me, right? Yeah, moves. But there was a lot of very powerful, calm attitude towards each other. Oh, I'm independent. I don't want to be with you. I can manage things on my own. That controlled energy is falling apart. Right? I don't want to talk with you. I'm independent. I can do things on my own. I don't need to be with you. I'm powerful. I need my time alone. Right? My attitude is everything. I'm cool, composed, and I'm collected. I'm very imposing. I don't need you. That energy of that King of Wands, that prideful energy, I don't need anybody. I'm okay. I'm independent. I'm powerful. I have everything with me. I don't need anybody else. That is an energy that is finished, done. Please talk to me about the moose. That has fallen apart completely, or will fall apart completely. Woman and Celtic knot. Look. Divine feminine and Celtic knot, right? So that energy, like I said, I don't need that soulmate kind. I mean, it's both ways. I'm talking about both you guys, not just one person, right? You all both probably came to the conclusion that you all don't need this. It's done. It's over. But somewhere, the love still remains. And you're still wanting the unconditional love with each other because it's unconditional. It is a love of a lifetime that just a phase of your life, you can't get over it. By telling yourself, oh, I don't want this. I'm okay by myself. I'm imposing. I'm powerful. I have a lot of pride. Yes, you did. And that happens to people. There is nothing wrong. When we are upset with somebody over a period in time, we tend to come to that kind of an attitude and that attitude was more because it's kind of a mask, right? It is something, that cloak that you wear so that you're not hurt. But that attitude is falling apart because this love of a lifetime, this unconditional love with the person you love is very much here. So that situation that was preventing the two of you is falling apart, right? And what is happening? The Ace of Wands, right? A new cycle in life is coming up in here. A new beginning in life. Please talk to me about the Ace of Wands. Strength, yeah. The compassion, I told you right here. Remember, I said this taking steps is towards his compassion of the heart, right? Where you lift out of the old negative situation slowly. Enjoy every moment of your life with one another. That brings in the teamwork. Once again, right towards this unconditional love, that in turn, with the new cycle, is bringing back forgiveness, kindness, compassion. once again in your journey. Please talk to me about that strength, where you all will learn to tame your own fears, whatever happened before. Learn to forgive each other for your mistakes of whatever has happened before, right? The tracks, yeah. To be on the same track, to be on the same page, to go the distance together, to one and with one another, to travel, right? The Tower. And this is where, let's see, a new experience probably is coming up in here. Yeah, okay, I got the messages. Hold on, guys. So there is a new cycle that's coming up in your life. Whatever the time frame will be, we don't know. But this new cycle is starting fresh with the new energy of a new strength, right? And this is not a strength of power and pride or ego. This is a strength of compassion, of love, of happiness. If you see this card, you know what I'm talking about. Look at this card, guys. So beautiful. So beautiful. Where there is no domination of will against one another. There is a will to win each other over with love, with truth, with honesty, and being fair to one another in the new cycle that is coming up in here. Okay. Now, auto in tracks, right? To be with one another, to move forward, is where there is some sort of an experience or a tower moment where you will have that guts to stand up for what you believe is right, more so. Okay? The squirrel, energetic, secretive, yeah, where things were not in the right order. But things were not in the right order, right? Where there was a lot of lip service, a lot of miscommunication over the last situation, where things have been discussed, plans have been made, but again, y'all probably went on your separate road, standing alone. You did not really join in on the tracks together. And it happened because, again, there was a lot of frugal, secretive, lip service, miscommunication kind of an energy that y'all didn't speak up. Nobody really actually said what is in their mind. They just parted ways, they just left, which is where there is that key, that intelligence, a solution that is coming up in here for you guys to understand and get a clarity of what happened in here. And forgive each other for that. Bringing back that compassion for all the mistakes. Yes, mistakes have been made, difficulties have happened, sufferings have occurred. But this is the time of the new cycle, that this mistake should never be repeated again. Take the liberty of discussing this openly with one another when the new cycle starts, so that this mistake is never ever repeated. Right? And you guys don't part with one another. You'll understand each other. You'll learn to forgive each other. The respect comes back. The intelligence to understand, the intelligence to come up with solutions. If there is a problem, there is a solution. And y'all can both together have that strength to use that power and intelligence to work in this new cycle of your journey. Right? Which is where the Two of Pentacles, because this is where there still is some amount, like I told you, some amount of things that needs to be wrapped up in the tangible world. Right? Just talk to me about the Two of Pentacles. that needs to be wrapped up in this tangible world. This juggling will not continue, and you all know that you have a complete sense of understanding the Seven of Pentacles, right? It's a start of a new harvest. It's a start of a new harvest. You're putting your thoughts into this problem that is there. How can you resolve this issue? Both of y'all will have to work together to resolve the issue that is still not yet resolved. This is not between the two of you. This is the outside problem that needs to be resolved in order to start a fresh new journey. And it's a turning point, right? Please talk to me about the Seven of Pentacles. So you're planting fresh seeds on the ground, but before you plant the fresh seed on the ground, you have to resolve the problem, the before. So the mistake you have made before, let me tell you here, is clear, very, very clear. Let me explain this to you. Okay. See, what has happened, guys, you all are coming to the point because this intelligence, the solution is coming up, right? The key is here. So you will find the solution to your problems, to whatever that you have not been able, because somebody, again, there was miscommunication. That is where there is a wall of misunderstanding, because what you said, the other person did not get it, what the other person was trying to say, because the communication was very, very scattered. Not really the right communication, not the heart-to-heart conversation where you practically say the things that is right there in your heart, where you express that feeling, but liking, not liking, the problem, the truth, whatever that thing, where you actually open up and say without hiding anything, right? So this is where the intelligence is coming up in here, that this mistake has already happened, but in the new cycle, this mistake should not be repeated, should not come back to you, because you'll have already gone through this experience in your life and you don't need that back in your life. Okay, so over here, let me tell you, over here the problem is still there is a lot of things that needs to be prioritized in both your lives, right? A lot of things that is still out of order, not in balance. You have to put a lot of things in balance for the new cycle to happen, for the new fresh start, because you, like I said, you don't want to repeat this problem. So because you don't want to repeat this problem, you have to be very careful this time that whatever you are seeding on the ground should be tension free, right? Should be problem free. You don't want to carry the past problem of your experience into the new cycle of your life. So you need a tension free, you need a complete stress free new beginning, right? So you have to work on that situation very carefully, or else, like I said, the Eight of Swords, or else that the last part of the story was because you did not really work on your problems before you jumped together in each other's life. That created a lot of toxicity, problems in yourself, where none of y'all were able to understand each other, and everything became a wall of misunderstanding and a wall of hatred against one another that none of y'all spoke about, said about, told each other, right? With the Hierophant, which is where, it's because y'all were staunch in your own belief system. You did not free yourself from the old belief system of your doctrines, your principles. Whatever that belief system in your life got all muddled up in your head. That's because you did not free yourself before you had started the old cycle. So this time around, that's where Spirit is saying, this time around, guys, free yourself completely, prioritize, organize your situations before because this new cycle should be stress-free, problem-free, everything. Money, emotions, whatever. that needs you to prioritize and balance back in your life before, because the seeds you're planting should not carry back the old harvest. It should be a brand new, total new harvest. Because otherwise, like you said, like I told you, you have learned a lesson where you could not open the door to your wall of misunderstanding because you were too much in your belief system with the Nine of Cups, right? Where wish fulfillment did not happen. Did not happen. It's all got confused. It all got muddled up in your head. You had a lot of wish, but nobody spoke about it because a wall of misunderstanding between your doctrines, your principles, your belief system, your status quo came in between. So this time around, the new harvest should not carry back the old experience of your understanding. And you know that. Please talk to me about the Nine of Cups. You have to open up the door to communication. Speak to each other openly. Discuss, talk, be happy. Bring back your wishes. Make that happen, guys. Archer. Right? Be very direct with your words and communications. Tell one another what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. The Emperor, right? Be very assertive with your communication, with your understanding, right? Or else things will not work for you. They will work against you. So if you want to make your dreams real, guys, here is the thing. Because there could be a repetition of the old cycle, that's why they are warning you that the old cycle, you could not be focused, you could not be assertive, right? And that is a repetitive pattern of a behavior. That should not happen. That should not reoccur in here, in the new cycle of life. So you have to be very, very direct, very assertive, right? And be persistent. Be determined. Right? Because the old cycle has taught you a lesson with your wish fulfillment. So this time around, you have to make things right with the new cycle, where you have to be very precise, very focused, very direct. Say what you have to say, but be very assertive and speak with a lot of determination to make your dreams real. Right? Have that confidence to give each other and to work towards your dreams, your Nine of Cups, to make it come real, to make it happen, to make it the truth in your life. Once again. So enjoy this reading, guys. This is a Valentine's reading for you. Love you. Take care. Enjoy yourself. And see you once again.